What's up, guys? Way to go, superstars. It's Jay Zang with Against the Grain. I think that soon I'm going to rebrand this entire podcast. I'm going to bring people on it with me. I need to. I need to. I am sick and tired of watching the rest of the world just get monetized and do great. And, I have good ideas. I'm fairly intelligible, and I'm sitting here counting pennies. It's silly. So I'm going to reinvent the wheel here soon, get some people in, and we're going to have a little bit more fun. What y'all think? But what are we going to talk about today? I could start by talking about all this tariff business going on. On one front, it's kind of interesting to see that some of these countries are calling the White House and saying, hey, can we change things up? We don't really want to do this tariff thing anymore. I heard that Vietnam called and said, hey, we can do 0 for 0. We don't have to do this anymore. So that's pretty cool. And I heard that the European Union is trying to negotiate and get tariffs lower. So on one front, Trump is successful. But our biggest competitor, and I mean our biggest competitor, China, is not backing down one bit. Matter of fact, they're like, okay, go for it. You raise ours to 90, we'll raise yours to 110. And Trump, big baby that he is, fine, we'll do 120. And President Xi's like, okay, well, we'll do 130. So it's not working with our biggest competitor. He's had some success. But what do we get from Vietnam? Who called wanting, to work things out. What do we get from them? Do we get our high-tech electronic stuff from them? No. What do we get from them? Rice? I don't know. So I don't know how well it's working on the whole. On one front, maybe. But on the whole, maybe not. Yeah. But anyway, in other news, the Uconn Huskies. Yes, love their show. I've said it on a couple platforms, and I'll say it again. Gino is 71 years old. He hasn't won a title in a while. And he finally did, with a really special team that took 4 years to get it together because of injuries and everything else. And to have Paige win that title, along with AZ Fudd, her good bud, was so special. So special. I've been watching Paige for 4 or 5 years now, and to see it finally happen, and for Gino to get that peace of mind, like, hey, I've still got it. I won 4 of them in a row back in my prime, but now I'm getting old and washed up. I haven't won one. Nope, incorrect. You got your title at 71. And a lot of coaches are going on until they're 75 anyway, and I really don't want to not see Gino anymore. So come back, keep doing it. Do it, man. And if you've ever read his backstory, how he came from just the most humble beginnings in Italy and Naples, you should check his backstory out. It's amazing. It's just a more beautiful testament. And did y'all know that his wife has been on the sidelines with him for 40 years doing this? Right there with him. It's like a dream come true. They both get to be together, do their basketball, win these titles, enjoy their life. It's amazing. So kudos. And as for the men, I wanted Houston to do it because they've never won a title. The Houston Cougars never won a title. Never. Not one. The Phi Slamma Jamma team, Elijah won all them back in the days. Even they didn't win a title. I think they made it to the Final Four, and that was it. Maybe to a title game. And I really wanted Kelvin Sanctions. I'm just kidding. I wanted Kelvin Sampson to do it. You're not really Kelvin Sanctions, man. That's what people say. I guess from when you were at Oklahoma back in the day. But I really wanted y'all to do it. And because, my Cincinnati Bearcats and the Big 12, you were fresh out of our conference. So I was rooting for you for that reason, too. And because you've never won one. And because, I have family down there in Houston. And because I love the name of that player, Milos Uconn. Uconn, that's just a cool freaking name. Wanted them to do it. And they almost did it. And then at the very end, to lose on a ball that you couldn't grab anymore because you jumped, and then have a dive right when a tape was leaked of Houston practicing these dives all the time, it was cinema, man. And, congratulations to the Gainesville, Florida Gators. They got, I believe, their third. And, no harm, no foul, no offense. Congratulations. I wanted Houston to get it done, man. Just wanted them to get it done. And then, switching topics, haunted Kentucky lore. On TikTok, I put a video of going down to, in the depths of West Virginia in Thurmond, to a haunted ghost town, and that was pretty cool. And it was about a 2-hour drive, so it took a while. Right here in Ashland, dude, there's a haunting right here, not even 4 minutes away. It's called the Bluegrass Inn, and if you check out KentuckyHauntedHouses.com, you will see a few different people talk about how haunted and weird it is. One person back in March of 2021 said he stayed in room 205 every night. Excuse me. And there's noises like there's someone in the room with him. And then one evening, something tugged on his pillow. He tried not to pay much attention to it. It seemed harmless. Now, if you're alone in a room and something's tugging on you, how the hell is that harmless? But anyway, he said, I can't explain the tugging on the pillow. Everyone else could be due to the building's age, what other guests are doing, etc. But no, he couldn't explain it. He said it only happens at night. And for the record, he's not easily spooked. He's not even a believer in that stuff, but he does believe that something odd is there. So that's haunted. Also in Ashland, there's a weeping lady at a cemetery in Ashland.
Atop a platform at the head of two ledgers and surrounded by a thick circle of hedges sits the enigmatic memorial sculpture known as the Weeping Lady of the Ashland, Kentucky Cemetery. Few facts are known about the Weeping Lady,
Yes.
And some people even believe it does not depict the name on the ledger at the feet of the statue at all, Elizabeth Ringo Fisher. The backstory surrounding the seemingly grieving effigy may be murky at best, but what has truly captured the attention of many onlookers are the disembodied cries and ghostly female apparitions which precede the Weeping Lady. Elizabeth Ringo Fisher.
Pardon me? You go into a cemetery and you have what? Disemboweling what?
Phyllis L. Ringo, who was the Secretary of State during the administration of Governor Simon Bolivar Buckner.
Wait a minute.
The backstory surrounding the seemingly grieving effigy may be murky at best, but what has truly captured the attention of many onlookers are the disembodied cries and ghostly female apparitions which precede the Weeping Lady.
Disembodied cries, weeping apparitions in a cemetery. Right here in Ashland, you got to check that out. Check that out. I failed to mention that at that Bluegrass Inn right down the street, rooms 127 and 129 are claimed to have blue orbs surrounding the place there at night that'll fly around the room. Blue orbs. Yeah. the Paramount Theater, which they do concerts there, they do movie theater, they do Broadway type stuff, they do shows. The Paramount Theater is a Cincinnati based Boyd County Theater Company. And when there was construction going on at the Paramount in the 1940s, construction workers went on their lunch break and then walked back in after their lunch and saw the dead body out of nowhere of a worker there named Joe. They named him Paramount Joe. Just hanging there for no reason whatsoever. And it was ruled an accident that this guy Joe at the Paramount Theater died, but there was no one there to do anything. So explain that. And lastly, there was some poltergeists around Normal, Kentucky, which is just outside of Ashland, that allegedly chased a bunch of teenagers in the 1880s, ghosts, chasing teenagers from the suburb little city of Normal all into Catlettsburg, nearby Catlettsburg, a 7-mile run. Chased these kids for 7 miles, these ghosts did, and almost killed the kids, but for whatever reason, I guess the kids lost the poltergeists in Catlettsburg. That happened in the 1880s. So, Ashland and vicinity is definitely haunted. And that makes perfect freaking sense to me, because ever since I first got here, last year when we lived in Canova, right across the river in West Virginia, I always felt uneasy going up and down 23. And that would have been a route that the teenagers were taking, running from them ghosts. I always felt spooked. I had to do a DoorDash on that main road, US 23, last summer. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm 40-ish, right? I was so spooked. I asked my 15, I think he might have been 16 at the time, year old son, and my 9-year-old daughter. I said, hey, y'all, will you go drop this off with me? Will you get out of the car and walk with me? Because one, I don't want you in the car alone while I'm doing this, because it feels creepy. And two, I don't want to be alone walking up and delivering this DoorDash to this house, because it looks creepy. This all looks creepy. I ain't feeling this. And now I know why. Now I know why, after what I've heard. So, if you're a ghost hunter or you want to check some craziness out, check Ashland, Kentucky out, because there's a handful of different haunted stuff going on down here. And lastly, before I close this thing, I want to say something. Not long ago, when I did a podcast, maybe a couple months ago, I was talking politics. I was talking about immigration. I was basically saying that, to an extent, what's going on is not bad, because there's a lot of evil people coming in here, and they need to be deported. Because I made that comment, some lady got up in my comments and said, I would never let my children around you. Do you know what Trump is doing to the... Okay, first off, I'm not monetized by someone. I don't have a producer. I am my producer. I don't have anybody to answer to. And so, I'm going to say, kiss my ass, bitch. How do you like them apples? I can say what I want, when I want, and I wouldn't let my kids around you, because you seem like an extremist, a tight-ass extremist. Let me say something. Hitler rose to power because people were going to the different extremes. And that always happens when there's something bad going on in a country. There's a recession or a depression or a war, something's going bad, there needs to be change. There is no in the middle. People become polarized to the mega left or to the mega right. And so he was able to gain power like that and persuade people to do really evil stuff because of that, because he had people polarized to one side or the other. And in Hitler's case, obviously, it was the Jews. Now, I'm not stupid, okay? I can see what's happening. There's the potential for some really bad stuff to be going on, because right now, Trump's Jews are the Mexicans primarily, but anyone, it seems, that has darker skin and is from another country. And thank God I'm from this country, because I am tan. I am Asian, Italian. Shoo, man. Thank God that I am from here. I don't feel like being deported. I love my country. I love my roots too. I love the Philippines. I love Germany. And I love Italy. I'm Filipino, Italian, and German. But I'm plenty comfortable right here in the good old USA. But the way the administration's going, it seems like tan people, weren't the Jews kind of tan too? And Hitler was kind of white. And I don't need to go any further. You know where I'm going with this. I'm making a comparison, but in the same token, I'm making the comparison because I had a lady that actually thought that I was, right on board completely with everything. And I'm not. And I'm also not controlled by anybody. There's no one telling me what to do. I'm like Tom McDonald. I produce myself. And I will gladly show you where the sun don't shine. Pew! Because I don't care. That's a public service announcement. You can comment on my stuff all you want. I recommend being positive because, that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be lifting each other up. I don't know. That's just the way I was taught. I was brought up to social media and posting through TikTok. I did some YouTube stuff, but I learned my posting through TikTok. And TikTok, since 2018 when I got my account, they always promoted positivity and lifting people up. And that's what I believe in. So, you got to comment, say something nice. Please. There's no reason to be an asshole. But anyway, that's it. I wanted to kudos my Huskies from Uconn. I wanted to say, man, so close, Houston. I wanted to share the haunted stuff here in Ashland because there's tons of it. And I wanted to mention that, start doing things, man. Start doing more of this. Start going live more. I want some monetization. I want some. This is a good way to make money. It takes creativity to do this. It's not all stupid saps that are getting paid to do stuff. There's intelligibility in this. It takes work. It's not just, you get to live the good life and just go do whatever you want. You're just a YouTuber. No, it's a job. It definitely takes work. Podcasts take work, take planning, take thinking, critical thinking. I'm a student of the liberal arts, working on a master's in psychology, a master of arts. So, man, maybe I can put the liberal arts to good use. In Latin, the artes liberales. Put the arts to use in my creativity and critical thinking, morality, all that stuff I'm learning through them and through the arts. Apply that to my work I'm doing here. Just a thought. Anyway, that's enough. Y'all, take care, stay safe, and God bless.